So I'm going to talk about the E-ARK specifications, and I'll give you an update of the current where we are right now and the future of CITS. I'm Karin Bredenberg. I'm coming from the Swedish municipality organization Sydarkivera, and if you don't know that I'm working with specifications, you haven't been around for those 10 years that Janet mentioned earlier. But really, what we do have is that we have the specifications, and they are excellent for information transfer for you to use. So what you see in the image is actually someone enters information into a system. We have created the specifications, and that was also introduced to you earlier on in this part of today. A common way of describing information and putting it into an information package. So if we extract information from a system in a common way, it's so easy to transfer the information to other places, to publish it online, to send it to another agency or another municipality or another business, or to change the system. When the information is structured in a common way, it's really easy for software creators of any kind to create an export and an import with a common thing in between. Also, I'm working at an archive, and that's part of our name in Swedish though. We want the information ordered in the same way, because that means that when we store it, Sven showed you earlier today the AIP and the possibility and the thought about the AIP being an AIP ordered in a common way. Everybody knows how it looks, and it's taken care of. And that's what we do. We take care of AIPs, and then we actually hand them over to someone who asks for the information. That's what we are using specification for. I think the word I managed to really not use during all this is interoperability. This is interoperability. We order things in ways so that everybody can use the information, and we do it in a common way, so it's easy for everybody. So really, these specifications can be used by everybody, but a little word of warning. You don't take a specification for records management and try to describe something else. Use the correct specifications for what you need it for. So the different specifications regarding the information packages are for describing the package. Remember that. The specification for records management is for records management, not something else. I know there is a tendency to sometimes, I have a specification, I'm going to use it. But oh boy, this was not the type of information I have, but I will use it anyway because then I'm using a specification. No, that doesn't make the information easy to understand for the one receiving the information in the final end. So use the specifications for what they are supposed to be used for. We do have a setup of specifications. You saw an image from that Sven showed. I'm using a more simple one. I'm not going into the technical parts, keeping it. We have a number of specifications. This is not all specifications that can be made, or it's actually not even all the specifications that are needed. But this is the first setup. This is the first ones. And the most important one is actually the ones regarding the packages. Then we have a number of more being for the content and for the preservation and the archival information. So the white sheets, they should be more. It's not just 4 that are needed more. it's a lot of different specifications. Think about that one. So this is the first setup of specifications. Those wide sheets, they need to be created actually by the people who are the experts on these specific types of information. I started working with these kinds of specifications more than 10 years ago. I think I'm up to 15 or something. And in the beginning, I got the comment, Karin, create a specification for everything. That is as useful as the ring that unites them all. It doesn't work. It's not going to happen. We need to look at the different types of information. We need the experts to do this work and aid here. So what we do have is that we have the specifications for the information transfer. And that makes it easy to, quite frankly, do it at the easiest. We have it here on the image. You have something in your system. Here in Sweden, we usually are actually getting that famous button that you press that actually exports something following specifications. And that is being implemented in more and more places. That makes it easy to send the information to either a national archive, a municipality archive as we are, to another system, to someone who needs the information. We can't do this without having some rules for the specifications. So there have been set up during these 10 years processes and guidelines for how you create a specification. How do you do them? Are you expected to treat images? How are you expected to get comments from the future users? So we have a set of rules, I will call them rules, for how to create a specification and how we treat them. And with how we treat them, so it's the DILSIS board, a board being housed by DLM Forum, who are responsible for the specifications, because these specifications needs to be around forever. This is voluntary work that we do to make sure that whatever happens, the specifications are still available. They are maintained. They are there for us to use. You have heard a lot about E-ARK CSP today. Here we get the aid to level up the work, to do more. Because as I said, this is voluntary work that we do. We do it with the support from our employers. And that means that if we get something extra, we can do something more. So the boat is sailing on. It's really nice weather. So what we are currently doing is we are in a maintenance phase. If you go and look at those procedures that we have created, the last publication of the specifications that we have now was in 2021. What we have set up as a rule is that during the following 5 years, no big changes will be made. Because if you are implementing the specifications, you need to have something stable. We can't run around and update specifications every week if we want to. We need to think about the sustainability here. And also the interoperability, because if things are a moving target, how can you do something with them? So they are in maintenance phase. Nothing really big will happen for these specifications for the next 5. I think we are up to 2 years now, so in 3 more years. They do get colds. I can say for one, I'm not a native English speaker. I do make spelling errors. Those are the things that we are fixing. And also if someone who are implementing and using the specifications finds something that we need to fix. We will fix that. The important thing to remember is that during these 5 years, all the different versions that we are releasing are backwards compatible. They are still working. We don't make any changes that makes the backwards compatibility to be broken. And there are also work going on with some new specifications. Utkast in Swedish, drafts in English. That work is also going on currently thanks to E-ARK CSP. So you will see more specifications. And for these, looking into the procedures, there will be a call for comments on them. That is really important that you are able to give your comments. If we look into the future, yeah, the code will go on. So we will continue to handling bugs and issues. I'm really amazed that I haven't made more spelling errors than I have, but I do have spelling errors. So it's almost a gold medal if you find them. This is what we are working on. And if you want to see what we are working on, which code do we have now? You look into GitHub because everything is recorded there. So you can see what's happening with the specifications. Give your comments, give your suggestions. We are also looking into the publication process to streamline that a little bit, and also to make sure that all the specifications in the final end are following the same publication process. This takes its time. It's a lot of work, but it's going on. And there will be more specifications, as I said. So the drafts are coming into the stage of being suggestions, and a call for comments will go out. So the specifications can only evolve thanks to your use and reports of problems. If you don't tell us what's wrong, or if Karin has made a really good spelling error, we won't fix that. Because quite frankly, me checking my own text is not the best thing. I don't find my own spelling errors. So you need to look into and give your comments, suggestions for the new version. Even if it's a couple of years away, you need to aid us. So the specifications are here for us to use, for you to use. And there will be more of them. So for making the interoperability working in the whole of the world, we need to use the same specifications to sort and order our data. And I would say the future of the specification is bright. I know you don't read Swedish. I do. But this is really a thing. This is a decision from the Swedish National Archives. They have been using specifications for a long time. But what they did in the end of March this year was to say that the common specification for information packages and the specification for submission information packages are the latest version of the Swedish specifications for the information packages. At the same time, they also took the decision about version 2 of the Swedish specification for records management, and are totally pointing to the CITS for records management. What they have beside this is that they have created documents showing if you are transferring your information to the National Archives, this is how you should do it. But here we have a good example of the bright future. Thank you.